Good afternoon, everyone. I know the mayor was here and Councilman Johnson, I see. Public officials and all those from the great nationalities here represented today. It's an honor for me to be here to officiate this ceremony, to swear in new citizens. It's always an honor, especially for my fellow Ukrainians. I will swear in today. And what a beautiful statue, Leslia Ukrainka. I know that many of you waiting a long, long time for this occasion to get sworn in as American citizens, so let's not delay it any further. For those who will become United States citizens, please step forward. Please raise your right hands and excuse me. You and each of you hereby declare on oath that you absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which you have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That you will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That you will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law. That you will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law. That you will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. So help you God. Please say, I do. Okay. Well, congratulations, new citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to be the first person to speak to you as citizens of the United States. You are now members of a democracy. Although it is little more than 200 years old, it remains the newest form of government in the world. In fact, it is still an infant in terms of human history. Democracy is also the most exciting form of government ever known to humanity. It gives more power to each citizen to control his or her own life than any other government has ever given to its citizens. The fundamental question to ask of every government is, how much power does the individual citizen possess? An absolute tyranny answers none at all, while an absolute democracy answers all of it. In a tyranny, the government controls the citizen. In a democracy, the citizen controls the government. You are not only members of a democracy, you are members of the first nationwide democracy ever seen on the face of this earth. Of course, the basic principles were known thousands of years earlier, but they barely survived assorted tyrants and dictatorships until the United States was born, the first country to adopt a democracy as a national form of government. Being first, our initial effort had room for improvement. One area in which we have improved is the right to vote, a fundamental prerequisite for a democracy. Today, practically every adult has that right, but it wasn't always so. In the beginning, neither slaves nor women were allowed to vote. In other words, over 50% of our adult population could not vote in the first election held under our democracy. It took nearly 100 years after the birth of the United States to abolish slavery and give the vote to men of all colors and races. This country was able to abolish slavery only after fighting a civil war that lasted approximately 5 years, from 1860 to 1865. The right of women to vote was established about 55 years after the Civil War by a constitutional amendment passed in 1920. and you will have the opportunity to become a full participating member of this democracy by registering to vote. I urge you to take advantage of this opportunity as soon as possible. Why has this country been able to improve upon and strengthen its foundations of democracy over the past 200 years? No one has the full answer to that question, but it is evident that important elements of the answer are confidence and trust. Not only do we as Americans have confidence in ourselves, we have confidence and trust in our fellow citizens. Most United States citizens realize the truth of the statement, "I know best what is best for me, and you know best what is best for you." Yet each of us realizes that while we are all different and independent, most citizens of the United States are good, decent people who will compromise any differences and disagreements rather than take unfair advantage of each other. Under these circumstances, we should not be surprised that our democracy has improved over the past 200 years. However, it remains an infant among governments, and the only certainty for the future is that it shall continue to grow and improve. Since we the people hold the power, we the people shall determine the direction of those future improvements. What shall the next improvement be? We can't readily predict, but in answering this question in the past, the United States has benefited from the fresh ideas and perspectives that came to this country from its new citizens. In the future, those fresh ideas and perspectives we need shall come from you. On behalf of all the longtime citizens of the United States, let me express our deep gratitude to you. First, for choosing this country, and second, for the significant role you will play in making it even greater. May God bless each of you new citizens and your families, and may God bless our country. Congratulations and welcome to the family of the United States.